Alrighty, I have head coach Pat Hallmark with us today. Just finished off a weekend series at East Carolina, taking two games. Looking forward to hosting Rice in our final home weekend of the 2025 campaign. Coach, if you want to start us off with an opening statement.
Yeah, it's a good weekend. You go to ECU and you win 2 out of 3. I think you should be pleased. So we are. Would have liked to have the third one, but we just didn't close it out. So a little disappointed in that, but still a good weekend.
Greg, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask you specifically about Norris McClure. What was sort of the process of identifying him and bringing him in after he played 4 years at Division II?
Coach Butler is the one that deserves the credit for at least initially finding him or getting word on him. Yeah, he played 4 years over there, and then his fourth year he broke the heme bone in his hand. It's a pretty common injury in hitters, so he didn't play and got that year back, and he graduated and got in the portal. And mostly we just saw video. We didn't see him play live, but we saw a lot of video. And once Coach Butler got word of him, we watched a bunch of video, and what we liked the most about him was his athleticism. There's always a worry going from Division II to Division I. The talent's obviously better at Division I, so you just don't know how the stats will translate. But Norris is a really good athlete, so we were excited to give him a chance.
I think his first 5 games with you guys, he had multiple hits. Did you expect that he could have that level of success right away, and what was the key to that?
Once we got him in the fall and got to know him, yeah, we did think he could hit and produce because he can run. So he can get the infield hit. He doesn't bunt much, but he could bunt if he wanted to. So, guys that can run can end up, hitting 300 without the what I call stand in the box and get the pure hit. So we did think Norris was going to be capable of doing that. He runs really well for a big guy. So wasn't a huge surprise. And he's just been real steady. Again, his athleticism is what stands out to us. He's a very good athlete.
The other guy I wanted to ask you about was Rob Orlowski. What was the process of identifying him as kind of that stopper out of the bullpen and moving into that role this year?
He wanted it, for one. Rob's talented. He was drafted out of high school, so that tells you what kind of talent he has. We were fortunate to get him in the recruiting process too, but mostly Rob's a strike thrower. That's number one when you're coming out of the bullpen late in the game because one walk can beat you at that point, like it did us the second game Saturday. But so Rob's a strike thrower, and then secondly, he wanted the role more than some of the other guys. So he was excited about that role where he's going to touch the ball multiple times in a weekend potentially, and he's going to touch the ball pretty much every time he touches the ball. The game is on the line. You got to want to be that guy, and it's very important that desire is there, and it was and is with Rob.
How has he developed from last year to this year to put up such better numbers compared to his first season?
The fastball's a tick better. He's polished the off-speed pitches. So last year he used to throw pretty much just one breaking ball. This year he's kind of added or sort of divided his breaking balls into a harder breaking ball and a slower, softer breaking ball, which works better against a right-handed, left-handed hitter. The slower breaking ball is a little better pitch versus the left-handed hitter. So that's given him some flexibility facing a good righty or a good lefty in the tick up and fastball. The velocity of the fastball is not the only thing that makes Rob good. He's got a big inverted number, so a lot of backspin, a lot of carry, as the big leaguers call it, to his fastball. It plays up in the zone, so he can miss with it and still get by and beat people.
How do you look back at how he handled last year, coming in with some pressure and high expectations and being the Friday night starter right away? Is it just kind of different this year, not having that kind of a weight on him?
Oh, he's got pressure on him because he's touching the ball with the game on the line. So I really don't think it's all that different. Rob's a grown up. He's very mature. We're very blessed. I'm very blessed to have some mature kids, some mature young people. Jordan Bain, Nate Hodge, another one. These guys are grown ups, and I'm thankful to their parents and them.
All righty, go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to follow up a little bit on Greg's question about Rob. How did you feel the way he handled the situation in your first game uh, on your last trip? You guys clinched the title that night, and he came in the bottom of the seventh, I believe, and you put him out in left field for a few batters in the eighth inning. Then you brought him back into the game. How do you feel like he did in that moment? That was a little bit of a chaotic moment there. Y'all were trying to protect the lead. You bring him back in, and you eventually shut him down.
Yeah, no, I thought he did wonderful. It kind of hits the nail on the head to what Greg and I were just talking about, which is his maturity and his reliability. A lot of people, even older pitchers, I don't think would be capable of that. And I wouldn't have tried it, frankly, if I didn't think Rob was capable of it. We had talked about it, actually. It's something that's been on my mind most of the season. We are a little thin in the bullpen. I think anybody that follows us knows that. Rob and Frenchie, who's Connor Kelly, are pretty reliable guys. And then we've got some other good pitchers after that. They just haven't been as reliable. So I'm just trying to buy Rob some pitches on his arm is what we're doing there. And again, speaking of Rob's athleticism, he's a good left fielder. We actually stick him out there in practice. He likes shagging balls. So he has the experience of playing out there. He enjoys it. So, yeah, the goal was to get him out there as insurance. If we needed him, we would bring him back in. I didn't want to take him out of the game and then not have him available. And I actually do think he's a good left fielder. We'll see, maybe. But that was the goal, was he only faced one batter. We finished the game with the rest of the bullpen in the eighth and ninth inning, and Rob's fresh on Saturday. But he ended up having to throw about 33 more pitches to win the game for us. So we're grateful for that, and he handled it very well.
Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, also want to sorry if you guys have been over this. I joined a little bit late this morning, but I wanted to ask Coach about JT. James has been on a pretty good roll. I guess a 16 game hitting streak. He's hitting around 400 in that streak. I guess it started back in the at the outset of the Wichita State series. He's just been on a tear, and just wondered what your thoughts are on his streak that he has going. He has a lot of RBIs. I think he's hit for RBIs in every game in that streak. How do you feel about the way James is swinging the bat right now, Coach?
Well, he's fantastic. He's been steady all year. He's been so critical to us, like so many of these guys have. I think he's most excited about how he's hitting versus left-handed pitching, which is pretty impressive. It's a challenge we talk about a lot in the fall with our left-handed hitters, which is that at the college level, a majority of young left-handed hitters do not embrace and enjoy facing left-handed pitching. And JT's really accepted that challenge, and he's doing a good job versus left-handed pitching, which him and I talk about quite a bit. So I'm not surprised as good as he's doing overall. He's a good hitter. He can hit the baseball very hard in terms of raw exit velocity, which is why some of the pro guys like him, despite the fact that he's not a great runner, but he can just pound the baseball. He hits the ball hard. It's pretty impressive. So, yeah, happy with what he's doing, and looking forward to more of him.
How's he hitting against left-hand? Do you know a number right off the top of your head?
Over 300. I don't know exactly, but he's well over 300. Yeah, the power's not quite the same, but it's a little. It is a little bit of power. He got Norby on Friday. Norby is ECU's left-handed starter. He hung a curveball to him, and he ripped it right over the left field fence. So if they hang a soft pitch to him, he can hit that out too. So yeah, I don't know the slash line exactly. I don't know. I don't want to be wrong, but it's going to be close to what it is versus righties. It's as good. It's right in there. At one point in the season, JT told me it was better, but that's been a while. So, but it's pretty impressive.
Coach, you're going up against Coach Pierce this weekend. Can you just tell me about the complications or struggles with coaching against a guy that you know so well, and how your history about that? Just
it's no complications. I want to beat him even more than if I didn't know him. And he knows that. We're friends. We texted this morning. Yeah, so I have nothing but respect for David and what he's done in his career, and his resume is very impressive. People don't realize what he did at Sam Houston State and Tulane before he got to Texas. He won a lot of games at those two places. I think he's the last guy to take Tulane. No, Jay's got him there winning the tournament, but I think David's the last guy to take Tulane to the tournament with an at-large bid. He's a wonderful coach. So great competitor, very, very competitive. We have that in common. So we might get into it a little bit this weekend, but in the long run, we'll be friends.
We are sitting at 22-2 at home this year. Can you talk about kind of the importance of getting the fans out to Roadrunner Field this weekend?
Yeah, we love having them out there. The guys feed on the energy. Our dugout does a really good job of keeping the team energized, but it's always nice to have fannies in the seats. It really does help us. You can tell by the record. So, and to me, it's an exciting and entertaining brand of baseball. I think the fans enjoy it when they come out because it is exciting and fun. So, we hope to see them, and we look forward to seeing them.
Couple of questions from here. Can you tell us a little bit about the Rice team and who's strong and who's not? I mean, I've spent a lot of time in the books, but book learning and seeing it like you have is it's two different things.
Yeah, their Friday guy is probably their most talented player. Even he's a pitcher, obviously, but even from the offensive side, kid named Hickson out of Florida. He started at Florida State. Big pro prospect. He's a junior. Most of his career, he battled a little bit, just command. But David's got him, and the pitching coach, they've got him throwing strikes now. The last 2 weeks are a pretty good indication of what he's capable of doing. He went complete game against Charlotte 2 weeks ago, shut out, beat them 1-0, and then last week he went 8 innings and gave up only 2 runs. He's good. He's really good. It's just power stuff. It's a hard fastball. Power breaking ball, and then the other pitch I think he's added based on what I've seen just last night when I watched him is he's throwing a changeup now to the left-handed hitter. So he's going to be real good. I think he's the biggest difference since David's been there and why they're winning a little more. And I believe they've locked up that 7th place spot in the league where they're already guaranteed a spot in the tournament, which David I'm sure is pleased with. So, yeah, he's the biggest difference, I think, in why they're winning now. He's tough. And then the Saturday guy's been there, lefty, kind of your classic, he's going to try to keep the ball down and throw some off-speed pitches at us, a Tennessee transfer. But we faced him before, but we haven't had success on him. He worries me a little because I don't know that he beat us, but we have not done well against him. McCracken is his name. So those are their Friday and Saturday guys. And then their lineup is a lot of new players I'm not familiar with. 2 or 3 names from last year, but I haven't totally bared down on the lineup yet. I've been trying to get a read on Hickson, the Friday guy, and get a hitting approach in place so we can be ready tomorrow to start getting our hitters ready for him.
One of the guys I looked at great length is the son of former major leaguer Iran Boca Chica.
Played
And
against
this-
his dad.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But the son, just looking from his numbers, looks like he's a pretty good up-and-comer.
Yeah, he's very athletic. Plays infield for him. Just super twitchy, athletic kid. Can run and do a lot of things on a baseball field. He's having a solid year. For a freshman, he's having a real good year. I think he'll make the all-freshman team. So I don't think he's got huge power, but he does everything else well. He defends, he runs, he throws well. So we'll bear down on him. I did see the name, and I looked him up just to see if that was his dad, because I think his dad was with the Giants. His dad played in the big leagues, if I'm not mistaken, but I played against his dad in the minor leagues, and I believe he was with the Giants. He was a very good player too, very versatile player.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Coach, Caden brought it up. I was going to ask, is there anything sort of special or interesting for you about getting to face Rice to close out the year, given your kind of history and ties to the program? What does this matchup mean to you?
Not really. I hate to say that because it's maybe a little disappointing, but you know, when I first left there, playing them was exciting and a little bit of a homecoming, so to speak. But I think it's been long enough now. I think it's been 8 years. Quite honestly, other than David being there, it's just another opponent to me. It's a little different with David there because him and I have a history of coaching together, and we've remained friends since we've gone our separate ways and left Rice. But in terms of it being Rice, it's a different place now. Obviously, different players, and even the administration is very different there. So I wish him the best, except this weekend.
All righty. I think that'll conclude it. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.